What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolf Brother Mythos.
Oh, we're live now?
We're live. You didn't hear me say we're going, and we're off.
Oh,
And
I
that
didn't
is,
hear you. Sorry.
it's all gravy, baby.
It's classic trashy only there.
I was like, hey, here we go.
Oh, I didn't even hear that. See? Freaking terrible painter, terrible at picking up cues.
Nah, that's me. I'm sure. Maybe sometimes when it does the intro, the mic cuts off a few seconds earlier. Wybird, my man. Why, hello there. How are you, my brother? Good to see you. Good to see you, brother. So, guys, we are just doing a chill chat tonight. If you will forgive me for just a minute, unfortunately, I still haven't learned since changing over from Streamlabs or OBS how to share this around before I hit the live button. Lupus for us. Good to see you, Lupus. It's been forever since I talked to you. Just sleeping off and on. Well, man, if you need to go back to bed, by all means, go back to bed, brother. All right. In order to share this, I need to switch accounts. How's everyone doing? Yeah, all of about 3 hours. Exactly. It's been forever. So we are just doing a chill paint and chat tonight. Brother Oni, what you working on tonight? What you got for poke chat, baby?
Doing the Lord Invocator. Building him up.
Lord Invocator. Is that for the World Eaters?
Yep.
Superfly checking in. What is up, party people? Slap that pigment, baby. Oh yeah, we gonna slap it. We gonna slap it good. Show us that big thing that you built up. Show us that big thing you got.
Come on,
there.
Mythos.
Oh,
3 to 4 inches isn't big. Come on.
It's all paradigm. It's all paradigm.
3 to 4 inches isn't big. Come on.
I've never ever seen an adult film before, so that's what I think it is.
Big Daddy Angron.
Big Daddy Angron. That is a beast of a model. It's almost as big as your face. Yeah. Not big, says you. Oh, man. That's right. It's all paradigm. All right. And we will post this straight to Facebook with no thumbnail or explanation because we're already in the show.
And I also picked up
the Corn Berserkers.
The new ones.
The Jackals.
And the Jackals.
And that 8-bound guy that you were had up earlier too looks pretty pimp.
Yeah. This guy.
Guys, I'm not normally a chaosy guy, but I got to say those new 8-bound look pretty pimp. It's funny because I like his new army's models more than I actually like the model of the new Primarch. Angron's okay, but I said before, he doesn't look that much different to the different, demons and bloodthirsters out there.
Well, you're just hating because there's a new demon Primarch and not a loyalist Primarch.
I'm really not. Like, if I were
It's okay.
all the
It's
demons.
okay.
I
It's
actually
okay.
think
We get
even
it.
more than the Primarchs, I think Be'lakor is actually a cooler model.
Well, Be'lakor is
And
not a Primarch. He's a Demon Prince.
well, I'm just saying, like in a similar style of model, a big demon, you know.
Not the same, Milos. Not the same.
Exactly, better.
No. He's a Demon Prince.
I'm just kidding.
Not
I'm
a
not
Primarch.
hating. I'm not hating on your model, man. I'm just saying.
No. I get it.
It's just my personal
I'm a
taste.
shitty
I like
painter, you know.
no.
I'm a trashy painter, trashy on picking up cues, trashy taste in models. I get it. I get it.
No. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. They are all heretic. Burn them all.
I
Burn the
mean, you're not
heretic.
saying it, but you know, the tone of your voice implies it.
Well, speaking of trashy paint jobs, what I'm working on tonight is I am working on my Sentinels. So I've got these are my last two models to complete for the Morty and Glory Kriegmas challenge. And so I've been hustling and airbrushing today. And I think I've already made a mistake because I think my purple base color on this one I picked is darker than the purple base color I picked as the base on this plasma here. So I'm probably going to need to go back and lighten that up with another shade of purple. Well, actually, I painted them both the same shade of purple. I think I used the darker purple wash on them. And so I need to go back and clean that up, lighten it back up before I go in with the airbrush and do the plasma effect on it. But I decided not to fool with the airbrush on stream tonight. They're massive compared to my Sentinels. It's interesting. So without even realizing it, before the new ones came out, these 3D printed ones I got were actually already kind of the size. These aren't glued in place, so I can airbrush the plasma later. But yeah, pretty much already the size of the new Sentinels. They are pretty massive. Here is one of my guards women. And yeah, see how tall she is compared to the Sentinel there. She's tiny, itty bitty. So, yeah. So I kind of lucked out that they're already kind of the size of the new Sentinels. Sounds like Mythos needs a Bane Blade. Man, I would love a Bane Blade. A Bane Blade, or, you know, if I for some reason wanted to cripple myself even more with the debt that could be incurred at Forge World. Man, the Macarius tank looks amazing too. I don't know. I don't know why I've got expensive taste, but I've been eyeballing that Macarius. I'm also really interested in a Lord Solar. And I've been thinking about, like, what can I do to make my Lord Solar look more fitting as Akkadian? And I was thinking, just, you know, like the head swap really seems like the only thing I really, you know, because the rest of it's not a million miles away from something you might see. The head is really what seems to be the problem, right? And because it's the part that looks most Age of Sigmar. You could see if you look through some of the different regiments and stuff like that, a lot of the lore books, a lot of the, even in Dawn of War, the 40K video game from way back when, you know, the colonel there has got a very similar breastplate like the Lord Solar does, and he's got a great big red cape like the Lord Solar does. So it's very similar to what you might see actually in, you know, Imperial Guard lore and other places. So a lot of it's not a million miles away. The sword is a little fantasy-ish, but, you know, a lot of the Space Marine swords are very similar. So not all of it is a million miles away. What really, for me, is just the head looks like the helmet that you would see on a fantasy figure. And so I thought maybe doing an officer with a cap, like on the new officer model from the Cadia Stands box, or maybe even a commissar's cap. Both of those would be really, really, or in my opinion, would be more fitting and kind of like tied all together. But then I saw this picture on Facebook in the Imperial Guard channel. And whenever we get back to doing Art of the Week, I will definitely be showing this off as Art of the Week. But this simple head swap, to me, really nailed the look I wanted for my Lord Solar. Whenever I get one, I don't know what I'm getting, but this is the head from one of the Imperial Knights pilots. That right there, the visor, the helmet, it looks fitting. It looks so fitting in this. Kind of gives it that future soldiery kind of look. And if you watch some of the animations with Cadians, some of the Cadians have the open-faced helmets, but the ones with the close-face helmets, they have kind of the red visors, that I think could fit this. So I think, obviously, I'm going to keep Cadian colors. I'm not going to do mine in solid, gold or brass like this, but still the look, the aesthetic, I definitely want. So I've reached out to my brother Richard at the Nerd Life. He says you might be able to get me one of these helmets, and I'm still kind of looking around online, just in case. But yeah, I'm trying to get a hold of one of these Imperial Knight pilot helmets. It looks perfect head swap. I'm stealing this person's idea. Mini War Mutts, you sexy beast. What is up, brother? What up, baby? Mine are the original white metal ones, kind of like a sidecar with legs. Oh yeah, those are definitely classic. Gamers with Coffee, Greg, my man, how's it going? Good to see you, my friend. So yeah, there's so much. It's funny because I have more than a functional guard army now. I have more than I can fit in a 2,000 point list, but there's just still so much I want. I'm like, but a Baneblade would be amazing. Oh, a Lord Solar. Oh, oh man, I forgot to show you guys something else I built this week, and I left it just on the other side of the monitor here. Oni, dance for a second.
I can't. That was quick.
Yeah, it was literally on the other side of my monitor. This, I started building the first of my Rough Riders this week. And this is one of the Gene Stealer Colts motorbikes that I stole. And this is a spear from the Oziark Bone Reapers. And the pistol is a pistol from the Gene Stealer Colt set, which is kind of fitting because the Gene Stealer Colts looted most of their weapons and vehicles from the Imperial Guard and a mining colony, right? And so here I am as an Imperial Guard player looting some of their stuff back for the Guard. And this is one of the heads from Atlantic War Games, where most of my Imperial Guardsmen are from. And yeah, so this is my first test piece of my unit of 5 Rough Riders. Don't get me wrong, the ones on the horses look cool, but I thought the little dirt bikes would just seem more Cadian, if that makes sense. And of course, even though I've gotten used to painting a lot of things together, I did leave, of course, the riders separate because there's a lot of small details on this bike that seems like it would be hard to paint. A little dirt bike here. Seems like it'd be difficult to paint if I didn't paint it separately. So there is some subassembly there. But yeah, and then I keep forgetting it's in subassembly, so every time I pick up the bike, the rider falls off. But yeah, that's a project I'm looking forward to. But even though I need to, oh, you have a cultist truck in your guard. That's cool. The Gene Stealer Colts trucks and their bikes and a lot of the vehicles in Gene Stealer Colts are cool. Motorcycle Rough Riders approved by Superfly. Nice. So the yeah, I really like this. I shouldn't have taken the time to stop and work on it because, like I said, I'm doing 2 challenges right now. I've got the Morty and Glory Discord challenge that I'm doing, and I vowed a lot of models. I vowed like a Cadian command squad, and I vowed a bunch of special weapons that I needed for my Cadian shock troopers. So, it was like 6 melta guns, 6 plasma guns, a couple of 3 grenade launch. It was just like a whole bunch of special weapons. So it was like 12 special weapons plus a Cadian command squad, plus my 34 Kazarkan girls, these 2 Sentinels, and yeah, and it was just that, and it was like, so I ended up vowing almost 60 models to complete in January and February. I'm here, 58 and 59, or 59 and 60, like the last 2 models. But also by the end of the month, I also am in the Gorka Morka Workshop Discord, and they're doing terrain for their challenge this month. And so, like I've shown before, I've put together this MDF bunker for my wargaming table, and we're gonna get it painted up and whatnot for my tabletop, and we'll do that as part of the Gorka Morka Discord challenge as well. And both of them are February challenges. So between these 2, I need to kick out these 2 Sentinels and that piece of terrain by the end of the month. So I keep getting sidetracked. I have a brand new Hydra that I have done. Mythos has been a good boy. It's still brand new in its cellophane, in the plastic wrap on the other side of my monitor here. And it's been sitting there staring at me. But I know if I peel that plastic off, I will get sidetracked. I absolutely 1000% will. So I'm like, I need to focus on these glass, because I'm very famous for jumping in on community challenges in, the hobby community, and then getting sidetracked and working on a completely different project. I've done that so many times. And so I'm really, really trying to focus. And I did take the time to stop and build up this motorcycle because, and I tried to do the same thing. The motorcycle stayed in the plastic for a while too, but then it was just getting to me. I got it in the spears, and the day the spears came in the mail, I broke, and I put together the first one. But we definitely will.
TM.
Huh? Go ahead.
Said I was gonna say something mean.
Go ahead. I can take
like
it.
a fat girl breaking the ice cream tub when she's about to go on a diet.
Like me. Remember to smash the like button, peeps. Thank you, Lupus, my friend. TMP, Rob. Good evening, my brother. How are you doing, my friend? I'm awaiting a new model as well. I'm hoping it will rekindle my desire to paint again. I can rekindle your desire to paint. All you need to do is get your paints out, get a canvas, and then, as Oni said to me about 10 minutes ago, paint me like one of your French girls.
I did.
So, there we go. I hope I've just rekindled your desire to paint.
What? Next day he's like, "Yep, I went and threw all of my paints in the trash."
Steve said, "Well, I'm done." Mini Warmutt said, "Okay, too much. I'm out." Oh
Saw this
man.
coming. I saw this coming.
Oh, we dropped to 0 viewers. How did that
Freak comes back. What the hell happened? It's like I told him. I told him. Don't do it.
Freak, that is a lie. He encouraged me. I'm very impressionable.
Who are you gonna believe? The guy who lives in the basement? The guy who painted your Green Templars?
Oh man. I think he still feels so bad about that he would side with you just because at that point.
Not gonna lie, that was very funny though.
Oh man, the innocence of it, I think, was the best part. he had no idea.
The whole exchange was Atlas last night too. It's like, yeah, you can make however you want, but if I'm gonna make a request, it's like, I swear, Atlas, if you tell me that it is a different color, I will lose it. Okay.
So you want tan Kriegsman? Okay, all right. Hey, you know these are brown?
I'll chunk them. Straight to the wall.
God. And they're 3D printed, so they will explode. So, one reason why I stopped doing commissions is even whether it's my models or someone else's. This is not specific to somebody else's model. But one of the problems that I have is I have a serious case of butterfingers. At some point while I'm working on a model, I will inevitably drop the model. And I got to say, I was really impressed with these Kazakhin kitty girls that I painted. Which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen it, I've been posting it everywhere, so I'm sure you've all seen it. But and you're probably tired of seeing it by this point. But if you haven't seen it, check out our YouTube shorts. We recently posted it up there, and really cool little fanboy moment. I mentioned it during Morty and Glory's live stream, and I said, "Hey, they're in the Discord if you're interested." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm interested, man." And he looked at it and he said, "This is heretical, but really, really great work. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and share it to my community page." And that was cool to have, probably my favorite Imperial Guard channel, 23,000 subs, share my work. I'm building 164 Greek hoplites. Oh my God, man, I felt like I was slogging through doing 34 models. I was like, don't get me wrong. I used to cringe batch painting 10 at a time, working on, I feel like with orcs, I was able to get up to doing batches of 20 at a time. And now I feel like this is my new personal best, doing 34 in one go. You doing 164 though, you are the man.
Those are rookie numbers. Step the game up.
I mean, those are rookie numbers for like Ulster Nation. 164. Jesus. I finished another Tau Battle Force box. Nice. And I'm working on a little terrain project. And when I say little, I mean entire table's worth. And that's on top of like when you did that time that you did a whole table's worth of what was it? Those MDF buildings that you did for the channel before, and you did them all in one go, and it was like, wasn't it like 16 buildings or something like that? 16 MDF buildings. Yeah, Rob doesn't do small projects. Oh, I have 33 on my bench at the moment. Wow. 33 of your Horus Heresy Space Wolves. Lupus, my man. So one thing I have learned while painting Imperial Guard is that, you know, I have heard some people, I've heard both sides of the arguments. Some people religiously undercoat black in areas where they're going to be painting silver. And some people say that due to the nature of metallics, that it's really not a necessary step. I'm interested to hear what side of the debate you guys are on. And, you know, before I did it just because, you know, I don't know, it's just how I learned when I was painting, you know, and I was going through the newbie steps, you know, watching every painting tutorial ever. It was just seemed like the thing to do. And, you know, but now I hear people say both ways in painting streams. Like, you know, some people say it's a waste of time because the metal flakes have good coverage. And some people say that, yeah, undercoating black is the only way to do your metallics. And some people say, well, only silvers. If you're doing golds, do a brown undercoat. Yeah, I hear a whole bunch of things. Have you even heard some people say do a dark yellow, like a mustardy undercoat for gold? The MDF project was a table's worth of boarding actions terrain before it was a thing. Well, now you're all set for boarding actions, huh? Atlas and I are probably going to try a little bit of boarding actions if we can get some of the information. And 500 points on a weeknight game where we don't have to worry about getting home too late. Seems pretty tasty. Anyways, what I was saying, huh?
Why not do 1,000? Or it might be too much.
The boarding actions, well, at least the first set of boarding actions rules. I haven't seen the ones in Angron, but the first set of boarding actions are 500-point games.
They're 1,000. Even in the Abaddon book.
They're 1,000?
Yeah.
No, I thought the tutorial I was watching yesterday said 500.
It might be for like the tutorial mission, maybe, or the beginner mission.
Right on. If that is the case, then we'll probably just be doing the beginner mission, but I'll go through and check it again. But anyways, what I was saying about undercoating the metallics is I used to do it just out of practice, and then when the debate started coming up, you know, when on YouTube videos I was watching and Twitch painting streams and stuff, I decided to give it a go, see if I could, you know, add to the speediness of my process. And on many colors, it seems fine if I do the lead belcher before, but a very light color like white or light gray makes my silvers look flat. And I did notice when I was painting Guard putting silver over these greens kind of gives my silvers a kind of green sheen, like a sickly kind of colored metal, which if I'm painting something for that intended effect could be cool, but not quite my desired effect for Imperial Guard. So definitely on the guard stuff, I am making it a point to actually, black coat all of my metallics. Yes, well, they are 40K at the moment, but I'm working as fast as I want. Okay. Very cool. I love seeing other people working on Space Wolves.
Son of a bitch.
That is one of the things I need to do. That's on my to-do list for projects this year, is to go back and finish Ragnar. I don't know if I've told you guys, but from where I had him almost done, I went back and dunked him, stripped him, and reprimed him black. In the words of Rich from Spray Black Studios, I sprayed it black and started again. Hobby Corner Kev, what are you doing up so late, my brother? I really should be asleep. Yes, you should be, my friend, but it is so good to see you. Great show earlier, by the way. Apologize for not being more active in the chat. I was actually painting while watching your stream, and that's how I got these two so far along. I was doing a bunch of airbrushing and stuff. I've done 120 Marines so far. Nice. You are speeding quite along. And 20 Mark IV plastics, nearly forgot them. And a Forge World command set and a boss dude. Nice. You are hustling, my friend. I'm sure everybody here knows Hobby Corner Kev, but if this is your first time hearing of the Hobby Corner, you can check down in the link below our link tree, the Friends of the Frost and Fists, and check out Hobby Corner Kev. Every Friday, Hobby Corner Kev has a live stream where he is getting in some hobby goodness, and he's got a community corner section where he will showcase all of the work from his Discord. Popped a picture of why you're up so late. Well, now I gotta see. Oh. Check this out, guys. This is professional YouTubing here. Instead of pulling him up and sharing my screen. Phone streaming. But yeah, check that out. It is really vibrant. I like those colors together, Kev. God, that looks so good. Hey, Fish, happy Friday. Can't stay. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Wah! Wah to you too, brother. Speaking of wah, I went back and started playing Dawn of War today. I'm on like the second mission, and I've already died twice. Sad. Next up is the Plasma Go. So, with that beautiful sea green and nice vibrant red you got there, what color plasma are you going to go for, Kev? or is that a secret? We see he's got the nice bright white undercoat there to make it pop. Make it pop, make it pop, make it pop, pop. Angry orange, very nice, very nice. I've seen a lot of people in the specifically in the 30K community doing that orange glow lately. I haven't seen so much of it cross over into the 40K scene, but I've seen a lot of people doing the orange glow for 30K or red. Nice. Quarter it. That's right. Let's go all Howling Griffins on the plasma coils. Just stopping in to say hi and smash that like button. Y'all have an amazing night, you legends. You have a great night too, brother. Good to see you. All right, I think got pretty much everything. Oh, nope. That's right. Do this
Missing a couple of things.
Yep. Just this one part in the back I forgot to do black. Ooh. Ooh, Mitha said Howling Griffins. He did. I heard him. Was I not supposed to say Howling Griffins? You don't have to worry about promoting yourself. Like I said, you guys can find our brother Kev in our link tree down below in the Friends of the Frosted Fist to check out all of his juicy content. He runs a spicy channel, I tell you. In fact, he runs a spicy channel almost as spicy as his OnlyFans. Look at that, guys. That is just a table covered in bodies. Look at that. You can't, from that far back, you can't even see anything. They're dots. You got to really zoom in. Look at all them bodies. Holy crap. He is going to be seeing that repetition in his dreams tonight, I tell you. Good night, brother. Get some rest. Oh, man, look at all that. Man, by the time he's painted that 100th shield, and he's only 2/3 of the way there, oh, man, he's really going to feel the slog there. But you know what? I got to say, I am hugely impressed. Mini Warmutt, by the way, Mini Warmutt, also, in our link tree below, check him out. Mini Warmutt can definitely paint some mega boatloads of models. Because he collects things like Zombicide sets where they come with, 120, 150 zombies or whatever. And the man will paint all of it up before he starts to play. It is, he is serious. And he manages to crank them all out. Whereas I average about, 100-ish models, 120 models in a year. Our brother Mini Warmutt is in the hundreds. I am working on that, though. I am working on it, the 365 challenge. I'm trying to get there. Big Mech Danskell, as far as I know, started the 365 challenge, and painting up a bunch of his orcs and Imperial fists and some other models. He did it? He went the distance. 365 models, and I'm trying to follow in them footsteps. I'm up to 75 now, so I'm a little ahead for the end of February. Yeah, painted minis always gives you a +1 on dice rolls. Heck yeah. That was my start in wargaming back in the 70s. Oh, wow. And plus 10 to respect. You got it. So, yeah, I mean, he really, really, the man gets his minis painted. He doesn't rest on his backlog like some of us. And I mean me. I mean me. But I'm working on it. I'm getting better, guys. I'm getting better. I have, for the last 2 years.
I'm at 120 models right now.
Holy crap. Oh, well, you just finished a massive bit of Black Templars, right?
Green Templars. Green Templars. Get it right, Mythos. Get it right.
Oh, man. What else do you think hit your numbers up that big? You knocked out some Ultramarines too?
Yeah.
Hustling.
17 Baton.
Nice. Man, I love how dynamic the reds are on your Votan.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm going to be honest with you. Shoot, I wish I had seen how good your Votan came out before I started painting my Blood Angel.
Why is that?
Because I would have painted them in that style. It's just so striking. I mean, I'm not that far along. I theoretically could dunk all, 50 of these Blood Angels bottles in the drink.
Well, the Hearthkin, I'm painting them differently than their Hearthguard. So, yeah, I'm doing them like the regular brush.
I don't know why. Earlier today, and I have said from the beginning that while I did think they were maybe a touch too strong, I did like their models. And today I found my mind wandering. They're trying to encourage the sale of Votan. The world needs no more Smurfs. I know. I've lost Lupus's respect by starting an Ultramarine army. Oh, I'm sure that'll have that kind of Marmite effect on a lot of people. But yeah, I started thinking about how GW is trying to encourage more people to buy the new Votan stuff by making all of the Imperium able to ally with them. Which is funny because in their lore, they're in the lore as trading their technology with the Tau, or at least their ancestors were. And they can't ally with the Tau, but they can ally with the Imperium, which coincidentally, the Imperium is GW's biggest moneymaker between the Guard and the Space Marines. So, it's just not necessarily a tinfoil hat moment, but it's interesting. It is interesting. Anyways, earlier today I did find myself. I was like, "What?"
Line's really not like the sales, not that bad.
Oh no, the sales are good. Like they were sold out before they hit the shelves. Yeah. However, I just any new business is good business, right? And so, like I mentioned before, it's a whole line of models that people didn't have because it's a brand new faction, right? And unlike some of the other new factions they have that are like a different kind of Space Marine or Chaos Marine, these ones, nobody has pre-existing models that could be used for it, So anyways, so all of Imperium can take them as allies. And I started daydreaming today. I was like, even though, like I said before, I have so many Guard models, I have trouble fitting them into my list, right? I started daydreaming. I was like, I could do what GW said and take a patrol of Votan, and what would that look like? Oh, well, I would definitely have in, some of the Terminators. Maybe, because that is what Guard have the biggest trouble with, is close combat. What if I just had, like, a patrol of Terminators and the Champion, and just have all Terminators set up? And I was like, oh, that'd be cool. And then I was like, ooh, a Champion in Terminator armor, the Terminators, and a Hecaton Land Fortress. And I was like, ooh, how would that Hecaton Land Fortress look all in my Militarum green? So that way they match the Imperial Guard. And I'm like, oh man, that would look sick in my Guard colors. Anyways, yeah. So I found myself daydreaming about the Votan today. Although I do like the idea of painting them in Bumblebee colors too.
Goes this way.
But also, I do like the idea of painting them in Space Wolf colors. Lots of options. Lots of options. I'm sure I'll change my mind 7 more times before the time gets here. Do you guys ever have that indecision on how you want to paint your stuff? And if you do, have you guys ever been like me where indecision actually keeps you from painting something? I have models in my collection that I couldn't decide how I wanted to paint them and have stayed in my collection for far, far too long.
No, I always plan it out before I even buy the model how I want to paint it.
I'll say that's the part that gets me, is I get stuck in the planning part. Like, what would I even do?
And if I can't think of anything, I just don't buy it.
You're a better man than me. Indecision paralysis. It's happened to TMP.
Because I literally don't have time to waste.
Ain't nobody got time for that. I felt like batch painting those kitty girls was kind of a slog, but then I went back through my records. I've really only been painting them for 3 weeks. And I think that's a good number of models to get through in 3 weeks.
How many?
34.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Like I said, I know there's a lot of people who paint faster, but like for my personal speed, that's new. I mentioned earlier that my experiment with painting over green, or painting silver over green, lead belcher over green without undercoating it black first, led to kind of a sickly steel color. Kind of reminded me of how it looks when somebody moves a piece of jewelry they're wearing, like a fake ring, and they're having that skin reaction to fake silver. That's what it reminded me of. Never happened to me. I'm not allergic to it, but my mom is. And I always found it weird when jewelry would turn someone's skin green. So you've been watching some battle reports with the new.
They suck.
They suck, huh? And what was the consensus we were talking about earlier? You said they managed to do the damage when they can get into combat.
Oh yeah. But once they're up against the shooty army, wah wah.
I was sharing with him that I saw an analysis on that earlier, and a lot of people feel like it's because even though their new codex has new tools to get in combat faster, the problem is that unlike some other um, factions that are also um, assault
Well,
armies.
most of the battle reports that I've seen, they didn't really run them how a normal World Eaters player would run them. So when I would watch it, I'm like, "You're doing it wrong. You built
And
the
what do you
list
mean by
wrong."
that?
So normally you would have some rhinos or some kind of transport to run your berserkers.
Mm-hmm.
They're terrible
Classic.
at shooting. Because
Yeah,
all they have is pistols, bolt pistols. All they have. All they have for
that is
rangers. And that's like
classic.
what, 12 inches?
Yeah, 12
Like
inches.
12-inch range?
That's classic. World Eaters 101. You go full mechanized. You put your berserker in
And it's what? Like strength 4?
the bolt pistols. Yeah, strength 4, AP
Yeah.
nothing. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So they have two 10-man squads of berserkers, no transport, so they're out in the open. And then they'd have their demon prints with no cover, like the jackals. They're the cultist equivalent, world eaters equivalent to the cultists. They have the jackals somewhere else and not screening their demon prints.
Yeah,
Angron, he can do his own thing. Like the model, he's meant to die because with the world eaters points, the blood ties, you can bring them back with 6 blood ties, and it's easy to get blood ties points.
just
You,
kill
you
shit.
kill them, yeah. You kill them. You kill a unit, you get 1. If it's like a vehicle, you get 2. So even if Ankron dies, you can bring him back with 6. So it's no big deal if he dies. But yeah, most of them,
Can
yeah,
you
they
bring him
just
back
have the, what
infinitely?
was that? As long as you have the blood ties points to bring them back.
Wow.
But yeah,
So
all the ones that I've seen, yeah, they've just been having them out in the open.
I think he's the first Supreme Commander that you can bring back unlimitedly. I think, yeah, Gilliman can only come back once. Celestine can only come back once. Who else can revive from the dead? The Necrons have a stratagem for it that can only be used once. I think that's all I can think of. Chat, if you guys can think of any other characters that can come back from the dead, but like that, let me know. But I think he's the only one that can come back multiple times. Darklight, my brother from the exact same Asian mother. Good to see you. I'm allergic to gold. I can't get anywhere near it because I'm broke, baby. That's a family trait, by the way. That's a family trait right there. We broke as hell, baby. I buy a few armies. By the time I get to paint up a new army several years later, I figure out the color scheme I want for the next army I want to paint. Brandon Heat can come back from the dead. Only once. Brandon! You ever seen Gungrave? Oni? It's a little bit of an older anime, but it's from the same makers as Trigon, and is one of my favorites of all time. If you ever watch it, which I highly recommend, like I said, it's absolutely one of my favorites. I highly recommend you skip the first episode.
Okay.
For some reason, if you take Star Wars for instance, it's like starting Star Wars, and they start off the movie with before the one of those things where they before the the title screen comes out, they do a little prequel and say, that's the day that we found out that Vader was Luke's father. And then they go back in time and start the story over, right?
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, it starts right there in the middle, and you're like, why? Why? And so you get there, and you're like, holy crap! This is an amazing plot point that I never would have seen coming, except they told me in the first episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you ever watch it, skip the first episode. I don't know what they were thinking. I'm thinking of getting Angron to have all the Primarchs. Very nice, very nice. Well, man, I think that is one of those big, beautiful centerpiece models that you could definitely have in your collection. That would be great for one of those things that you like to enter for painting competitions. Also, if you are going to paint up a big demon, I also recommend. Never mind. We're not going to talk about that.
Go ahead.
I'm just messing with you, my brother.
Talk yo shit.
Oh man. So yeah, you guys can see here, even though it's
I know
got
you're
like
going to talk about him.
yeah, Bellicor. Now that's a beautiful demon model. So you guys can see here, even though there's a layer of pink on top of this, which is kind of tinting it a little bit, you can see I've used the wrong wash here and made this purple way too dark. So we're going to lighten it back up a little bit. Even though they say it's a waste to do highlights before you put on your power effects, I've kind of got to do that right now to fix my mistake. But hey, that's because I did the test one earlier in the month. Well, not even this month, back in January. I did the plasma I did the test plasma in January. And so by the time I got around to working on this one today, I completely forgot which wash I had put down. So,
So you got to write it down.
I was about to say, a lot of people say to keep a painting journal, write your notes. And I keep meaning to start, and I never do. I'm like, I can remember. Here I am cleaning up my paint mistake, because clearly that's not true. All right. So since Gilliman came out, which admittedly Gilliman was first, so he did get some love at first. There have been 3 Chaos Primarchs and 2 Demon Princes of the name, of the special named character variety, borderline demigod level. Almost a 3rd one because Vashtor is coming out.
You said 2 Demon Princes?
Huh?
You said 2 Demon Princes?
Yeah.
Who's the other one?
I can't remember his name. That special named Demon of Corn. I think he's the named Bloodthirster guy.
Scarbrand?
Scarbrand, yeah. He got a new model since Gilliman came out.
That's Age of Sigmar.
You can't take Scarbrand. Isn't he like a Forge World option or something you can take in 40k?
No?
Oh.
I don't think so.
I always thought Scarbrand was a model you could use in 40k. Yeah, it just shows I don't know anything about Chaos. I need to work on my belly and core. Having a belly core will remind me. I appreciated the pun there.
Damn it, Mythos. Now you're going to make me look it up.
I would look it up, but my keyboard is blocked by this camera. Wolfwraith, current painter of Custodes, amazing, talented painter, and one of my all-time favorite Twitch hobbyists. Wolfwraith in the chat. How are you, my friend?
Because he's not in the World Eaters Codex. I can tell you that right now.
Well, most of the demon choices are in the Demon's Codex, though, as I understand it.
Oh, yeah. His box does say Warhammer 40K. It says 40,000, and then right next to it says Age of Sigmar. So you can.
That is a feisty puppo in the background. She is so fearsome. If anyone's interested to seeing how fearsome that dog is, I've posted a picture of her. My vicious, bloodthirsty German Shepherd up on my Facebook and Instagram page if anyone wants to see. Absolutely, absolutely terrifying. Doing well, thanks. And yeah, now a Custodes player. I don't know if this is too personal question. So if it's too personal, let me know that I've overstepped, and I'll apologize. But do you think you could see yourself ever going back to the Blood Ravens you love so much? Only reason I ask is because I was actually playing Dawn of War earlier today. I'm on the second mission. Got my butt kicked twice because the what's that style of game called? Command and Conquer, Red Alert, Dawn of War. They're called
Real-time strategies?
RTS, yes. The RTS game I'm most familiar with is Red Alert. And most of the abilities you unlock at the HQ, the base area. And what I wasn't aware of, like the Captain Titus was telling me, oh my God, these killicans will only be able to take them down with missile launchers. Use the monastery to unlock a missile launcher. And so, I did the thing at the HQ in the monastery, and I was like, okay, sorted. Well, it turns out you also, after the monastery part's complete, you have to go back and click on your heavy bolter guys and say, hey, drop that and pick up a missile launcher. And I didn't know that, and so I kept getting my butt kicked by these killicans, thinking that I'd done everything I was supposed to do. And then eventually later I clicked, while most of my forces were already dead the second time, I eventually clicked on the dude, and I was like, why don't you have the missile launcher? I've paid the points for you. And then he was like, would you like to upgrade to a missile launcher? I'm like, you son of a bitch. And of course, that is me blaming the video game character because I didn't know to press his button. Because I'm classy like that.
You're like dumbass Marine.
Oh man, we were playing D&D together last night. Forge the Wild, who was in the chat earlier, he's our GM, and Oni is playing a barbarian with no patience, and so everything that was happening, uh, Oni's barbarian would just be like, "Dumbass this, dumbass that." Like I'm out trying to rescue a kid, dumbass kid, and then
No, it's like you should have listened to me. Now you're looking for a dumbass kid because his dumbass mother lost sight of him.
and it was, but like after a while, it was just a catchphrase, "Dumbass kid." And a couple more times, I can't remember what the other groups did, but I remember you saying "dumbass blank" about some of the other members too. So it was just kind of a catchphrase.
No, it was a freaking a ghost. Did he leave?
There we go. Huh. It closed our screens
Okay.
down for a second. At some point, I may, for something small like Kill Team, and Funny, been playing Dawn of War 2 again. Nice. I'm working through the first one so that way I can play the second one because I never played the second one.
You can skip the third one. There is no third one.
A lot of people say that about that and Red Alert 3. Like, for some reason, the third one, people didn't like both of the series.
Red Alert 3 was awesome.
I thought it looked like it too, but for some reason, it gets talked a lot of crap online.
But yeah, there is no Dawn of War 3.
That's a shame. Oh, the first time, the first two times I lost wasn't because I died. The first two times was because I was trying to do the stealth part, and I didn't realize that if you fail the stealth part, you just switch over to the tactical squads. I thought that was game over, so I just restarted. And it wasn't until the second time that I was like, oh, the game keeps going. So the first time I just restarted for no reason.
There's stealth in the game?
Yeah, like the second level starts with Titus sends not Titus. The captain sends recon marines, scout marines out to do some recon work. And so you get a squad of 4 scouts, and you're supposed to infiltrate and stealth through and mark the high priority targets. And the first time I died because there was a whole bunch of guardsmen getting killed by a big ass mob of orcs, and like and a couple of knobs and a war boss. And I was like, oh, I need to save them. And then I got swarmed and died. And I was like, oh, I think you're supposed to keep stealthing by. And then the second time I got by them, but war bosses have a chance to see you. They're the only ones you can't stealth past. So you got to like wait for them to look the other way or whatever. Your invisibility for some reason doesn't work on war bosses. And so, anyways, I was attempting to sneak, and the war boss turned around at just the right time, and then all of a sudden I had everybody on me. I am playing the Tacticus game on the phone. I downloaded that, and I've meant to just start it. But when it comes to phone games, I am addicted to Marvel Snap right now. It's recommended as one of my favorite channels outside Xboxes. On one of their top on one of their top 5 games of the year, and it took the spot for their mobile game of the year. I was like, oh, I'll try it out. And trying it out turned into I play it forever now. Like, I'm just always on that thing. It's just, first of all, I like Marvel characters and stuff like that, and the game, the game makes it addictive, and it's a card-based game. And someone who's had a lot of play in like Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh and whatnot. I don't actually play those games currently anymore, so it kind of scratches that itch for those games that I used to play. And it has a few layers of like that gives you a sense of progression. Since I can no longer drink alcohol, I'm painting with my repurposed whiskey glass. It used to be my bearer of Crown Royal, never to be used for whiskey again. I miss you, Crown.
I don't drink.
Because of my pancreatitis, I am incapable of drinking anymore. And the family definitely reinforces it on me. It's like they want to keep me around or something. Sometimes I'll be like, well, maybe, especially guys being guys, I'll be with the bros. They'll be like, well, just this one time. And I'm like, yeah, just one time. And then my missus catches me. Then I wake up on the couch. Dumbass pancreatic defects. You right. I think I'm overcommitting to highlighting these coils before I go back in and airbrush in the energy effects, but I don't know. I'm actually just really enjoying the relaxing, cathartic process of just highlighting these coils by hand right now. I mean, I've only got like 12 days left. No, 11 days left to finish this February challenge, but so I really should be like moving along in the process of working on these two Sentinels. But right now, I'm just enjoying a little bit of highlight on this plasma coil that you're not even going to be able to see once I go in with the white ink and put the fluorescent color over the top. But I'll know. Sometimes you just got to take the extra steps. Okay. That looks a little closer in base tone to, this one. Again, this one's tinted a little bit with that fluorescent pink on top. But aside from that, I think that definitely looks closer. This side's still a little too dark. This side could use another pass. So we had our first player death last night, like actually full on death. So if anyone was here 2 weeks ago when we talked about, because we play every other week. If anyone was here 2 weeks ago when we talked about our session, the fighter went off, and when we were in a town, a whole town of enemies, like this basically we were in enemy territory. Whole town littered with demons. We found out even the helpful ghosts that were in the town, the demons were made from those ghosts.
Dumbass kid and the dumbass mom.
So like this helpful guard that was following Oni around, he was waving to different ghosts and being like, "Hi, Bill." Yeah, these demons were the people who lived in this village.
They don't know about the friendly ghost.
So yeah, they had no idea they were dead either. They thought they were still in the town. They were like, "Yeah, I mean, I do remember that our town was attacked at one point, but I don't remember what happened after that." They couldn't see that the town was burned down around them. They didn't know each other were dead, and they saw the demons as other ghosts like themselves. They saw, which they thought they were all living villagers. So, hey, Bill. And the ghost of the mother I was helping to find her ghostly son, which I had a good feel-good moment. She found her son, who was also a ghost, and they united.
What did I tell you before you started helping him?
Hey, it was a feel-good moment, okay? There was a nice glowing light, like in Ghost Whisperer when somebody finishes their last mortal wishes or whatever. But then after the white light, there was like a dark shadow. And the ghosts didn't necessarily turn into demons right then, but they started acting like under the mind control like the demons were. Like they moved to block Lantis's path and stuff like that. Dark Light's path. And stuff like that. Now, Lantis is an exorcist, so, he just said, get out of my face. It's like, I would kindly ask, dear spirits, that you get out of my way. They did not, so he used turn undead and said, I say thee nay. And they just went flying away from him. Okay, much better, much lighter, much lighter. I guess I'll do the detailing on that one while I've got the plasma cannon out. Oh, need to highlight the front here. But yeah, so the fighter, the Rune Knight that was feeling a little. You are a feel-good moment, Elster Nation. Good morning, bonjour, my friend. Yeah, so our Dragonkin Rune Knight, the fighter, was just like, I want some. And keep in mind, he was already feeling a bit bloodlusted when we first got to this realm. Was like already in the village trying to fight non-combatants, like a farmer just going around and doing his daily routine. The mayor of that town, like he was just ready for a fight. He's like, I'm in hell. I'm supposed to fight, damn it. This is a village on the border. You're kind of between life and death right now. He's like, damn it. He was ready to fight though. And so when we finally did see demons, he was like, come to daddy. And then like the second one demon was down, we had our chance to rest to, catch a break and whatnot. And he charged off to another one. Like, very, very berserker style. Well, it turned out to be some really big demons there that Oni affectionately referred to as Big Chunguses.
No, Chungai is
Chungai is the plural. big Chungai. And man, it turned out there were two of the really big Thickum boys of the extra large, a few of the
There were three of them.
three of them. So two
Yeah,
of them went down, I
one
guess.
of them, yeah, one of them was out in the open. One of them was on the other side of the courtyard by the chest, and then one was inside of the building right next to him.
And so there was one left by today's episode because we had to end. Well, I would say we ended mid battle. The fighter was the only one that stayed in battle. Like, the rest of us were like, searching for ways out. I was doing my little investigation. We have a very.
No! I found a way out.
Oh, I was just saying, like, that's what
you were too busy. You were too busy trying to find a dumbass kid.
Yes, I was trying to help the spirit. And like I said, out of character, I know it's a dumb idea, but in character, my character was abandoned to the Fae at a young age, and so he's got a thing for lost kids, abandoned kids, orphans, that kind of thing. It's his weak spot, and so Leroy Jenkins, exactly. Our Dragonborn went full Leroy Jenkins, and anyway, so like I'm trying to, we're all trying to wrap this up and get out of there, and our Dragonborn was fighting. Now he had started taking a good chunk of damage from the big Chungai, as we now know is the correct pluralization. And so he was trying to get it out there too, but he had drawn the aggro of every demon in the village. Oh, and our ranger. We have a ranger who is very, very loot driven. And so our ranger found there's a glowing chest in the town square, and so our ranger decided to stealth across rooftops and go get that chest. We found out earlier in the episode that so there are a couple of cities that represent limbo in this version of hell, and they have protective bubbles that keep the hell out, little sanctic bubbles. They're placed between heaven and hell, and they're like mortal. They're mortal places there, and the bubble keeps the hell out. And apparently this town was corrupted when a treasure. Killian, good to see you, my friend. I also have a glowing chest. I like staring at your glowing chest, Elston. And the treasure that was brought into this town is when things started going bad, and our ranger went for it, and he looted the chest. And turns out there was just a single silver coin with markings on it he couldn't read in that chest. I feel like, having read the Dresden Files, I feel like he's got a silver denarian on him. The 30 pieces of silver. You know what I mean? I feel like this is a silver coin with demon taint on it.
Ew.
Oh, okay. Let me tell you, I feel bad that the Dragonkin died. However, on his way out, because like he was legit surrounded by 30 demons, including one of the big Chungai, and a whole bunch of medium-sized demons. There was no way we could take out 30 demons with a hamstrung party, and I'd already blown one of my spell slots. The monk had already, because we're traveling through hell. We've been through some battles. The monk had blown through some of his key points. Monk, the exorcist, so it's a dual class of monk and cleric. he'd gone through some of his key points already, and our ranger had gone through some of their stealthing spells. So we're very limited on resources. There's no way we could pull them out of or fight our way through 30 demons. So there was no way we could save him. And I felt a little bad that we couldn't save him. However, on his way out, that man sold us.
He did. Freaking snitched it on us. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, who lit the tree on fire? Oh, yeah, it was that guy.
Yeah. Oh, that was the ranger with our party. The ranger's here. Is my father here with you? Oh, your father's definitely here. In fact, we're here to see to rescue Laylee. Sahariel, he's the demon lord's prince. He's here to try and confront the demon and take his daughter back. So like that man sang like a canary on the way out. He's like, well, we've searched the whole town. We can't find him. He probably stealthed and exited that gate right there. God dang. That man sold us out. What level are we? We are currently level 10. 10? I believe 10.
Yeah.
So
10.
one more level, I get 3 for 1 arcane Eldritch Blasts, which will be cool. That's when you look at him like Curly Bill from Tombstone and say, well, bye. God, I love that movie so much. Tombstone, one of my all-time favorite movies. In fact, I think it might be my favorite Western of all time. In fact, I quote Doc Holliday from that all the time with the, if you're looking for a dance partner, I'm your Huckleberry. You, Doc, you're so drunk, you're probably seeing double. That's why I got 2 guns, one for each of you. Gosh. Such a classic. I legit could not believe. I still am not sure if that was like a, trying to talk his way out of the situation, or if he was like, oh, well, if they're not coming to save me, I'm telling everybody.
Snitches get stitches. I said, this mother trucker.
Could not believe it. In fact, I needed Journey right there to sing to me. Don't stop believing. So yeah, so then when he sold out that I was in town and I have a major bounty on my head because the demon prince has been looking for me for a while, and that's why we were there to rescue my daughter, because when he couldn't get me, he kidnapped my daughter instead. Turns out, so my daughter's only been missing for about 2 weeks in our time. But time apparently passes differently in hell. And so they say, oh, yeah, she was a prisoner and came through here 10 years ago, 15 years ago, something like that. And we're like, what? That did not seem like good news. So, of course, she has been tortured and corrupted over the course of about 15 years now. So she went from being a kid to a grown ass um, demon princess. I still hope we can save her and that she's not beyond saving.
It's like she already killed somebody. She gotta die.
I mean, it was just the Dragon Knight. If I got to pick one of the two, I'm gonna side with my own daughter. I'm hoping I didn't confront her last night because I'm hoping if we get to the Demon Prince first, we can break his conditioning of her. Break her. Make her uncorrupted. Because obviously, to corrupt somebody in only a matter of days like that, it's got to be some black magic. So, if black magic is what changed her, maybe a lack of black magic can change her back. So that's why I actually didn't go confront her last night. It's because, I probably just would end up killed. Like what happened. But B, I think if I'd gone to confront her, it would have been like end game scenario. We fight, one of us loses. So I want to wait until we confront. You are black magic from the waist down, Elster Nation. That's what I hear, anyways. Imagine if she is pregnant with a demon child. No. No man wants to think about their daughter pregnant. Even if she is my imaginary daughter. But if that were the case, Brother Rob, that would be just like, oh my gosh, what is that Stephen King movie? Oh my gosh, it's going to bother me. I can't remember it. I remember watching that movie when I was way too young to be watching it. But anyways, so my daughter shows up in a demon form with 4 succubi serving her. And hey, that's a heck of a way to go. I mean, she set her minions loose on him, and so the succubi brought him down to 0 HP, which technically he was still alive and could make death saves. And it's only if you go, 10, 20 wounds below 0, then you can't make saves anymore. You're considered completely dead. Rosemary's Baby? Is that the one where, she's pregnant with the devil's kid and jumps from the top of the skyscraper? I can't remember. I remember seeing it as a kid. There you go. That's coming out okay. But so after her, my daughter's a monk, by the way, and at one point we were in a future post-apocalyptic version of this world, and my daughter was a resistance fighter, helping to fight against the demons. And in that timeline, the the Dragonborn, was like, I'd spar with you, but I don't want to hurt you. And she's like, oh, I'm not worried about you hurting me. And they sparred, and she used one of the um, uh, special punches a high level monk does, because she's like 20 years older in that timeline, and drops him to just a handful of HP in one punch, and he calls it quits there. And so, anyways, kind of as a nod back to that timeline, she does that same kind of palm strike to him when he's already in the 0 HP dying state to finish him off. And then we had snuck out of the city by that point. But we had already snuck out of the city, so she yeets his body over the wall and says, wherever you are, I'll find you, and I'll kill you. I'm like, oh shit.
She's got to go. She's got to go.
So what we've currently done temporarily is the cleric did the blessing, our exorcist did the blessing thing clerics can do, and stopped his body from, put it in suspended animation, basically, so he's not, like, stops the death and decaying process for 24 hours, and we shoved him into our bag of holding, and you can keep doing that every 24 hours until we can get him to a church to have a resurrection done. And I think those are like 200 gold or something like that, which we have. But the only thing is that I was thinking about this last night, and what I think we should ask him, we're in hell right now, and who knows how many episodes it'll take us to get, if ever, back to the surface world, right? So I guess the real question is, would he want to sit out that many episodes in hopes of us resurrecting his character in the future, or does he want to make another character now and jump back into the game? Because on one hand, it would suck to lose your character you've been working on this whole time, but also it would suck if you had to sit out of the next 3, 4, 5, who knows how many episodes, We did tell him to pull back, though. I am saying we did tell him to pull back. Have you ever? You're too young. Never mind. I was going to ask if you'd seen the classic Fox animated series for X-Men.
Who?
You. I think you're too young, though. In like the first or second episode.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You have?
Yes.
For real?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It was like 5 or 6 when I was airing.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, if anyone who hasn't seen it,
I'm not that young, all right?
I keep thinking you are. This is, by the way, a weekly conversation that Odie and I have, where I'll bring something up, and then I'll be like, never mind, you're probably too old to remember that. And then he's like, no, I was there for that.
I think you meant too young, not too old.
Too young to remember that. He's like, yeah, I was there. And I'm like, nah, you're definitely too young for that. This is a weekly conversation that he and I have. And then I'll forget the next time I bring something up.
Yeah, you're talking to Freak about it. They're like, Oni, this is
Oh yeah, that's the other way it goes. So this is something
I know. It's like, really? It's like, how do you know about that? It's like, I was around. And then you're like, oh, really?
The opening theme for X-Men matches the song "I'm Your Baby Tonight" by Whitney Houston. What? I love that opening theme song for a '90s X-Men. Um, the so in if you haven't seen the show, um, the first or second episode uh, has an ambush where um, the X-Men get, the government is storing files of people, and most of them being, underage, like teenagers and stuff, people who are suspected of being mutants, to be kidnapped and taken away in the middle of the night by Sentinels. And to stop these kidnappings, the X-Men decide they're going to go destroy all these records. And so they go and they accomplish their mission, but on the way out, they're ambushed by way too many Sentinels than they can handle. It's like a full army of Sentinels.
Sentinels were
And
introduced that early on.
yeah, they're introduced first episode. In fact, the first 2 minutes, because the beginning focuses on
Oh wait, that's
Jubilee.
when Jubilee's introduced, right?
Mm-hmm.
Into the show.
Yeah, first episode is shown from Jubilee's point of view, and she's out shopping at the mall, and then she gets attacked by Sentinels. Ah, son of a bitch. I thought this was a detail. This is a 3D print support. Okay, there we go. We'll just paint over that without repriming it. And anyways, so Cyclops is giving the signal like 3 times for the team to fall back. And of course, Wolverine being Wolverine is all, bloodlusty and fighting. And so Morph goes to save him, and he sees a Sentinel behind him powering up a really, a charged shot, and says, "Wolverine, fall back!" And so that 4th time he told him to fall back, he ends up getting Morph killed. Kind of. I don't know why he took a shot for him when the man can't be killed. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so that 4th time he got told to fall back. By not falling back, he got Morph killed, it was interesting because you didn't have a whole lot of character deaths on regular TV at the time in cartoons. But yeah, Morph got killed right away, first or second episode. Anyways, but instead of getting Morph killed in this case, it was a stun shot. They were wanting to capture the mutants, not kill outright. I thought Morph died. I thought he died from that. I could be misremembering, but I thought for sure he died from that. It has been a hot minute, though. Almost. Oh, okay. Yeah, was under the impression that he died from that shot, and then while he was dead on the autopsy table or whatever, Mr. Sinister put the bug in his ear and made him a zombie and took him away. I guess he wasn't dead, though. Well, I learned something new. Also, another fan of the 90s X-Men. I see Wolf Wraith, you too are a man of culture.
Careful, they might think you're too young for it.
Almost Dead, he conditioned him into being a bad guy. But yeah, classic series. Okay. Very, very cool. I love that it's on Disney Plus. I've actually been going back through, and I'm like, I just restarted it. I'm only like 5 episodes into rewatching it. Although now I am taking a hey, yes it was Steve, yes it was. 90s X-Men was gold.
I'll be right back.
All right, brother. Um, yeah, I'm taking a break from it right now because I will be watching some Netflix, the animated series for Cyberpunk Edge Runners. My brother Darklight has been recommending me that, and I want to watch it. Not only because he's been recommending it to me, and it sounds amazing, but also um, I have been looking up some of the animated music videos for Game Grumps that Danny Sexbang, one of the lead singer, uh, has done, and some of them are really, really good animated music videos, like Starlight Brigade and Magnum Bullets, and even Welcome to Your Parents' House, or Welcome to My Parents' House, and also It's Bedtime. So many good ones, but like Magnum Bullets and um, Magnum Bullets and Starlight Brigade look so good. Like they legit out of these music videos could make an entire animated series out of, and I think people would watch the hell out of them. In fact, I think that's like the number one comment I've seen on both of those videos is they're like, "Oh my god, please make this into a series." Even Markiplier commented on Starlight Brigade, saying that it was amazing and he'd watch it as a series, um, which is absolutely cool. The Anyway, so my Google Music app, if you run out of songs on your playlist, it will try and support things that it thinks you like based on your preferences and recent listening history, and substitute songs into that list. And so in the case of me finishing those animated music videos for Starlight Brigade and Magnum Bullets, it put on a couple of more, kind of the same kind of techno rock kind of music videos, and one was a music video for Cyberpunk Edge Runners. And just based off of that one music video, it looks so cool. I want to watch it myself. Highly recommend checking out the Japanese opening for it. It's something else. Okay, I will definitely do that. Can the guns on the 40K containers be used? You mean the shipping containers that come with the little storm bolters on top? I don't know if there are still rules for it. I believe there are because it's one of those pieces of terrain that comes with rules in the current rule set. In which case, it's just a model standing at the storm bolter can use the storm bolter profile. Also, watch the intro music and seeing anything you want from me. I'm giving you everything. I'm your baby tonight. You won't regret the laugh. All right, I will check it out. I can have two YouTube windows open at the same time, so that shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, I'll check it out, my brother. Yeah, so if you have a model like just a regular, blood claw with a bolt pistol, who's standing, next to the storm bolter on the container, and all he's got is his chainsword, his storm pistol or bolt pistol, you can just use the storm bolter profile instead. The only thing is that not everybody plays with those rules, so just I know you play have been playing solo games before, but when you play with other people, I think just like with most terrain on the table, you just agree with your opponent ahead of time what terrain's going to be what, and I think you're good to go. But when the shipping containers first came out, those were written rules for those shipping containers, which is really great for something like Assault Marines or Storm or Blood Claws that, like I said, just have a pistol. Especially if you have like an objective near those containers and you're sitting there, your Blood Claw can't charge off into battle. Boom, get you a couple extra shots from the Storm Bolter. Man, it's already 10:22 tonight, flying by. And I feel like I'm getting some stuff done on the Sentinels. Well, I'm getting some stuff done on one Sentinel because I've been trying to catch up to the other one. Yeah, I got all the airbrushing on this Sentinel done before the show, so that way I could just focus on the brushwork and not have to make so much noise on the microphone. I saw some new orc terrain, Essex Boys, on Essex Boys channel. Orc terrain is looking amazing. It's good to see Essex Boys back after a bit of a break. Apparently, super busy with work around the holiday, and then after work, he got the extremely sick. Yeah, it's good to see him back. You know, uh, and obviously, I didn't know he was ill before, but it's good to see him back, and glad that he's feeling better now. Absolutely one of my favorite orc channels. Is he one of... That's something I need to look at. Ooh, I finished all of the dubbed episodes of My Hero for this season so far. Oh man, I can't wait for them to do more. I am so stoked. I really enjoyed this arc so far.
It's only the beginning.
Kind of. I mean, I think you said there's only a couple seasons left, right?
No.
No, for some reason, I thought maybe it wasn't you. I thought somebody said that there's only a couple seasons left.
Probably like one
Good.
more season.
Hmm?
Probably like one more season.
No, so only one more season left.
But they'll probably stretch it out. Kind of like what they're doing with Attack on Titan.
I don't want it to go. I don't want it to be over. Apparently, when I was going through and black coating all the parts that had gotten a little overspray earlier, I completely missed the underside of the chassis. Slack a lackin' mythos.
At least it's not trash.
Hey, you know my paint jobs can't touch yours, so
No.
if yours are trash, mine are dirt, baby.
No. My paint jobs are trash.
I need to go get my completed Sentinel because there are some parts like on the legs and the underside and whatnot, and the underside of the chassis and whatnot. I'm like, is that how I did it on the previous one? Because right now I'm comparing to a half finished model. And I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like that. So I need to compare to the fully finished model. But I'll do that between ending our show and starting up the hobby hangout afterwards. We'll be doing a little painting after the show if anyone's interested. I think I may not go until 2 in the morning like I have been for the last, I don't know, however long I've been doing this. Just because I'm starting to find, because I get up for raid on Saturday mornings around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I've discovered that, man, these last couple times I've gone to raid, I've been like half asleep when I go to raid after a painting night. And so usually I'm up with the guys talking until like 2 in the morning. I might have to start calling a little earlier. I was so bad this last time I went to raid after a painting session. I was just like, every time they were like, well, we have 9 people for raid today. So if anybody, I'm like, I'll tag out. Let me tag out. You're going to nap again, aren't you? I'm going to nap again. Sitting there sleeping at my computer. It's like I'm having fun and I want to hang out with my friends at raid, but at the same time, I'm just sitting at my desk so sleepy. And coffee was not helping. So last week, even though I didn't stay up hobbying, so I actually wasn't tired last week. The party's like, okay, most of us are further along in the story than you, Mythos, so we're going to go ahead and do this. And why don't you go ahead and work on some of the main story and get such and such unlocked? I'm like, okay, cool. But they're like, but do story, okay? This isn't not napping. I was like, I feel a little called out here. But they were right. I mean, they're most of the time right. At that particular time, I wasn't sleeping. Ever told you guys that I am a pro hobbyist? Look at that. Look at that great big support right there. Like a whole little line. Hey, I could paint that as like an oil drip coming down from the cogs. Just pop it off though. Some people get lit up in YouTube comments because, you know, they didn't trim a mold line, you know, before painting. I'm over here leaving whole freaking supports.
How dare you?
I know, right?
You uncultured swine.
I am the slackalacka. So, chat, if you heard the D&D story earlier, what would you pick if you were in that situation? Your character dies, you're 10 levels into the game, so you've obviously been working on your character for a while, you're attached to the character. And you know, you've done a lot of work on this character, and your character dies off. Would you rather, like I said, we're in hell right now. We're nowhere near a church. Would you rather be stuck in a bag for several episodes until we can possibly get to a church to resurrect you? Or would you rather go ahead and roll a new character so that way you could get back into the game? I'm just curious. Not that this has any weight on what will happen, obviously. I have no idea what the other player is going to pick. Or they may have talked to the GM and they may have worked something out. Like I said, I have no idea. But if you were in that situation, what would you pick? I think it's interesting. What would you pick, Oni? You've been playing a character for a year and 3 months. You put a lot of time and effort into this character. What would you pick?
I'd wait. That's just me. I could do other things.
Fair. I think in this particular case, like my current character, I'd wait too. I really, really like my current character, Sahariel, and I think he would definitely be worth waiting for. Elston Nation also says he'd be happy with bag life. That's cool. What have you been up to lately, Elston, my friend? How is life with you? Guess it would help. I have a whole painting cam, and I'm holding my freaking model up here to paint. This is why I don't do tutorials, guys. I just cannot seem to get the gist of painting on camera. And I've been doing these painting, these painting streams for a while too, and I still can't seem to get the concept of painting on camera down. If it were me, I wouldn't charge Shungai and when my party and I are not at full strength. But I would wait if I was very attached to the character. Fair. Been busy with work, but working on 30K white scars. I love 30K white scars.
No, they're not Chungai. They're big Chungai. The big is part of the name. Big is the first name. Chungai is the last name.
Chungai's their surname. 30K white scars. Oh man, you don't want to paint a couple extra of those white scars, do you? Have a man send you over some white scars.
Don't do it. Don't fall for his trap. Starts with a couple, and they're like, "Hey, I got a couple more, if you don't mind."
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh wait.
Is that Edge?
Yep. No. God damn. All right. I'll stop just for you.
I'll paint you some white scars. Oh, hell yeah. Can have a squad of Elston originals in my scars. I haven't played my white scars in a hot minute. In fact, I don't know if I played them at all last year. I remember the year before they were most of what I played.
Oh, last year mostly played your works.
Yeah, last year was mostly orcs and a couple of times Space Wolves. Orcs and Wolves last year. Oh, and I played Admech twice. Yeah, I think Scars definitely need to come back into rotation this year. All right, guys. I know these silvers are far, far too bright. Please keep in mind this is still very, very early in the process. But yeah, they're coming along. I think, like I said, these are my last two for the February challenge. And I think they're both looking about a good 60% done. So I'm pretty confident if I can get 60% in one day, I think I can definitely make my deadline. Again, I know it's too bright. They haven't had any washes or weathering yet. But yeah, they're just really... I have airbrush shit. Oh, shit. When did I do that?
Get off.
You know what? That looks like some kind of lasburn here. Actually, we might keep that. But yeah, so I have done shading and highlighting with the airbrush and all the green parts, but everything else is just blocked in colors. Well, and I've done shading and highlight on the plasma too. But we'll get the glow effect done later on. Okay, so yeah, it's just the black and the silvers that are just blocked in. But coming along, coming along. And some of my favorite pieces of terrain that I currently use when I build our tables are some L-shaped ruins and some ruined walls that I got from Grumpy Guy Gaming. And they are in a gray and white color scheme with some brown dirt around the bottom and collected kind of like along the windowsills and stuff like that. And so the terrain piece I showed you guys earlier in the evening, also those ruins from Grumpy are also MDFs, you know, just like the terrain I'm working on. And so to match the some of my favorite terrain that I'm currently playing with, I'm going to try and do it in the same gray and white kind of color scheme as Grumpy's ruins he sent me. But I think I'm going to do it with a few extra weathering powders, and I think I'm going to just try and... There's a bunch of borders and stuff like that. I think would be a good opportunity here to add in some extra color. So like you can see there's some like embossed borders like around the window edges and stuff like that. And so while it's going to be mostly gray and white like the buildings he sent me, I'm going to take that opportunity and put in some, I think maybe a blue for the windowsill. Yellow maybe. And then I will put in the blues and the yellows, and then I'll chip and weather and make it dirty and grungy. I've left the top unglued, so that way, I can actually put dudes inside if I want. Kind of makes
That's
I
what
like
she said.
I like when things are sturdy and whatnot, but I like the utility of being able to put people in. Also giggity. But yeah, so that's my challenge, is to finish these 2 Sentinels this month. Which I say this month is like the next 11, 12 days, and this building. So I got some work ahead of me, guys. I got some work ahead of me. If any of you guys wonder why I'm stippling my silver onto this little gas can at the back here in a very choppy way, it's because I'm going to come back with some dirty down rust and really add to the beaten up look of these gas cans back here. And I've noticed when I stipple and kind of make the metallics a bit choppier, the extra texture and whatnot kind of gives the dirty down a little something to stick onto. So I like to go back and just kind of rough up the metallic paint when I'm putting the silvers down. I know I'm going to be putting some dirty down rust or some pigments on it. Marine, happy Friday. I hope you're doing well too, my friend. Al was telling me about you getting to visit the Monument Hobbies locale and maybe getting a foot in the door with them. That would be badass, my friend. So good luck to you on that. It's crazy because I was just talking about how I'm running low on my black primer because this one bottle has lasted, most of my orcs and all of my Space Wolf projects from last year, and now my whole Imperial Guard army. And so now I'm getting down to like the last, fifth of the bottle there.
Yeah.
And I was mentioning the bottom is starting, like I'm have the closer to the bottom I get of my Vallejo primer here, it's getting a little chunkier and causing more clots and whatnot in when I'm trying to run it through my airbrush. And so I told him I'm going to take Meeks' suggestion when this runs out and try the Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl primer. And after I mentioned that, he mentioned that about your visit to Monument Hobbies. So, man, I hope that works out, man. I hope the best for you. That would be awesome. I'll be praying for you, brother. What you been playing lately, Marine? I recently started playing Generation Zero. Freak had mentioned that you guys had been playing that for a bit. And that's pretty fun. Ooh, although, the survival aspect, while not as tedious, it's not even really survival, but like the inventory management is a bit tedious. And man, if you start getting your butt kicked repeatedly, you can definitely, I've noticed, get yourself into a bad spot where it's like All right, I've gotten my butt kicked so many times that I'm starting to run low on all my ammo, materials to make ammo, all my bandages, materials to make bandages. You can definitely paint yourself into a corner. Not much. Been packing up. Okay, so you're further along than I thought. Man, good luck. Man, brother, if I live closer, I'd happily help you pack. How did I miss this earlier? These scars have a rite of war, which means you can take all the jet bikes. And guess what I'm doing? Taking all the jet bikes. Nice. Oh, you got to do some bikes with the scars, baby. That is so cool. Oh, I missed out on some more golden wings. Ah. Be moving on April Fool's Day. Well, hopefully there are no tricks, my friend. Elstonation, my brother. I know rookie numbers to you, but I just finished batch painting 34 cat girls for my Imperial Guard Kazarkin, or as somebody pointed out to me on TikTok, Katzerkin, um, in 3 weeks. So nothing by Elstonation standards, but I'm feeling pretty good about that. That is definitely faster than I can usually paint.
All right.
Nice. I think you've probably painted more than me this year. What? This cannot be. It sounds like sacrilege. Boop. Yep, I'm at to a total of 75 right now. So my general average for it's been steadily going up, but it was like 79 models the first year I started keeping count, then 80 something, then 90 something, and then just over 100, then 120. And I think it was 140s the year before last, and then 150 last year. And so now I am, by February, already halfway to last year's count. And again, I know quality is a factor. Count is not everything. But I've been happy with the quality I've been putting out, mostly. couple of the faces on the Kazarkin are not my absolute best, but I think some of that is also down to, the just my ability to get to some of the face. Like, there's a face that's mostly covered by binoculars, and it's just hard to get to the face in that case. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, I'm pretty pleased. I'm in the setting up stage, so prepping loads of minis and ready for a batch paint. I've painted 60-ish this year. Oh. So once you get them all prepped and ready for paint, then you'll crank out 200 on a lazy Sunday afternoon.
I think I'm going to put the Jackals together before the Berserkers.
Oh, yeah? Sounds like something's piqued your interest. Why so the Jackals?
No.
Just look cool?
I mean, I can't take any of them. My Black Legion.
Well, I mean, you said the Jackals are just basically
Cultists.
World Eater cultists. So you could probably just run them as cultists in your Black Legion.
Yeah, but I don't have any cultists in my list that I created.
Oh, okay. Well, I tried.
You tried.
And failed.
D for effort.
Faces are overrated. At least that's what my missus says. Oh, goodness.
So I think I got a good Black Legion list.
Care to talk about it? Or are you saving it as a secret?
It's a secret.
Ooh.
Freak said he'll play for his birthday.
You're going to have him take a beating on his birthday. You won't even tell him what he's preparing for.
Oh, no, I told him what it is.
Okay, so he knows what's in the list.
Tuesday when we played? Was it Tuesday?
When we played what? D&D?
No. When we were supposed to have our hangout, but it was Valentine's. Yeah, it was Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, that's Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, I told him what the list is. His reaction goes, okay.
Why can't I know?
Huh?
If he knows, why can't I know?
I'll tell you later.
14 models this year. That's a lot in my book. Nice.
You know how you were doing the whole "Don't talk to me and my son ever again"?
Yeah.
I can do that with Angron now. See,
that's awesome.
Papa Angron, Baby Angron.
Whew. All right, so that is all the black undercoating, all the steel blocked in, all of the gold blocked in, oh, damn it. Every time I keep saying, okay, so that's all that I keep finding.
You notice something.
Yep.
Well, I finished the Lord Invocator, or
Noise.
as I like to call him, Lord Avocado.
That's so cool. I've always loved those Juggernaut mounts. I didn't know why people didn't run them in previous editions. My understanding is that he wasn't very
Their
good.
rules weren't that good last edition.
Just a shame because I'm just a big fan of. If I played Chaos, I probably would have run them anyways.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a big fan of cavalry models, and I like to always say that I painted 9 Thunderwolf Cavalry when Thunderwolf Cavalry were horrible. I'm really interested to try an all cavalry list because I found that you can take, which I don't own this many, but you can take a max, was it 6 by the rule of 3, 18. So you can take a full 18, the max number of cavalry that you can possibly have.
Okay.
For like I want to say 1,500 points or something like that.
Right.
Now with the points cuts, and so you still have room for and that's with a captain on Wolf. So that is 19 Thunderwolves. So you can take a full 19 Thunderwolves and then still have 300 points left over for some kind of like fire support or something like that.
Damn.
I was like, oh, that would really be committing to the cavalry. You're not going to take too many objectives.
All right, I'll give you a little from my list.
All right.
No, it's 2 boxes of possessed you gifted me for my birthday.
Yep.
They're in the list.
Nice. Possessed are so good right now.
It's just 1 5-man squad of possessed. With the Mark of Slanesh.
Slanesh. Mark of Slanesh means that they get, extra attacks? Or no, they always attack first?
Always attack first.
Okay, now I've got all of the steel, all of the gold, and all of the black coating done.
And then a 10-man squad of Terminators.
So you've done a whole table of... those Terminators look so cool. I love your Black Legion Terminators. The Fenris project was huge. A whole table of Fenrisian mountains with all of the Fenrisian trimmings, like all the bits of tech on the Fenrisian mountains and stuff. That was a huge project. So between a table of terrain that you're working on now, so 2 tables of terrain plus 14 models. You've been busy this year. It's good to see you back in your hobby groove, brother. Anyone who's interested, like I said, I'm going to be doing a hobby hangout after the show here, so I'll post it up in the Discord, and if anyone's interested, you can hit me up on Messenger as well. But I'm going to take a quick bio, and I'll start throwing out links, and we'll do some little hobbying after the show. Brother Oni, aside from that badass list that you're going to use to beat up Freak on his birthday, any closing thoughts from you, my brother?
They could have done better with the world leaders, rules wise.
It seems very strong. It's the getting there to make it happen, which seems to be the trouble.
Yeah.
It's kind of where the Wolves first were when their Codex first dropped. It's like we could blender when we get into combat. It was getting into combat.
Yeah. Beautiful models, though.
Yeah, they are cool. Like I said, I'm not even a big Chaos kind of fan, but the models look pretty astounding. They're just so beefy and imposing looking,
Yeah, just with the what are they called again? The E-bound. Just them alone.
Yeah, the E-bound are some awesome looking models.
Nice.
I love that. I don't even know what you would call that weapon. Some kind of like pole arm
I
blade
think it's the
thing.
chain glaive. I think that's what it's called.
Okay. I'm used to seeing the more like the Night Lords use the more like Naginata-esh
Yeah,
ones. But yeah, I could see that.
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna do like a full 40K world eaters army. That's
Right.
I'm not gonna do that. But I'll do like a boarding actions,
Cool.
like 1,000 point list. That's about it.
Nice.
That's about the only way that I'll run them.
Hey, that sounds awesome. And
Yeah,
there's a lot of fun to be had in those smaller scale games, anyways. And I'm really looking forward to boarding actions.
yeah. I think they'll do good in boarding actions. It's all like corridors and all, pretty much just close combat. Not a lot of shooting in there.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. If you guys like tonight's episode, make sure that you grab up an ox and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. Drop us some comments down below, especially if you're watching from the archives. Feel free to be part of any of tonight's ridiculous conversations. And if you guys are not yet subscribed to any of our brothers in the link tree below, and if you're not yet subscribed to these guys, then I know that Oni and I, and of course, even though he's not here, our brother Freak would love to have you guys as part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. And so until next time, guys, stay frosty.